God damn. Well, welcome back to another video. 1 year later. I know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. First things first, I have to obviously apologize for the huge delay in getting videos out, and the consistency's kind of disappeared a little bit. But unfortunately, real life gets in the way sometimes. And yeah, just had to be dealing with that this year. So with that being said, we are definitely looking to come back stronger than ever in 2020. We've got some really cool videos planned. Some very special editions, special spec cars will hopefully be joining the channel. And yeah, we're just gonna be grinding, man. This year's gonna be a big one. Massive thank you to everyone that has been viewing, subscribing. The numbers have pretty much gone through the roof in this year, so maybe I won't go back. It's been mad. We've hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, so that's a huge achievement. And because we've done that, now the videos are getting, like a tiny bit of revenue, but revenue nonetheless that we can just reinvest back into the videos and make for better stuff, man. Because we want to push the channel. Hopefully you guys want to see us do well, and in return, everyone wins. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you like what you see by the end of the video, feel free to press the like button as well. Drop a comment below with your thoughts and all that kind of stuff. We're looking to engage as I do. The OGs of the channel. You'll see me in the comments section for sure, replying to any comments that I can. I'll help you wherever I can, and likewise you guys have helped me too. So yeah, make sure you slap that keyboard. Now that all the formalities are tied up though, let's get into the main point of the video. If you're an original viewer, you will know that in 2018, I bought a 4-year-old BMW M235i, and it was mental. Ooh, the tires are toasty. I've driven a lot of cars in my short space of time on this earth, but there's just something about this one in particular that just completely blew my socks off. Today, I'm gonna be evaluating and kind of just discussing the difference between the cost and the value of modifying the car itself. Is it worth the cost? Slash, what's really happening with the value? I promise you, if you stay to the end of the video, you'll get some very good tips on how to price your car when you do come to sell it, and what to do with modifications, all that kind of stuff. So let's get into it. Shortly after I bought my M235i, a really close friend of mine bought a 428i, and when it came, it had the M Performance body kit on it, and I looked at the car and I was like, this is just, what is this? How does it look like this? I've never seen it or heard of it before. Lo and behold, as you can imagine, straight on the internet, calling up my friends at BMW saying, what is this? Can I get one for my car? So after doing my research, I had a good bearing of what I wanted. And the only stuff I did want was definitely the front splitter, the rear diffuser, and the spoiler. I really wasn't that bothered about the side skirts, the stickers, the exhaust tips, or even like going the whole hog and getting the new wheels and stuff like that. I wasn't that interested in it until a friend of mine over at BMW called me one day and said, look James, I know you're interested in getting one of these. There's a 20% discount if you buy the kit as a whole. So that means you get the splitter, the side skirts, the stickers, the exhaust tips and extenders, the diffuser, the spoiler, and the kidney grille. So that's 7 bits of equipment for actually less than what I would have paid for buying those 3-4 parts that I wanted individually. All in, I keep calling it the M Performance kit. The technical name is the Aero kit because it probably does absolutely nothing for downforce, but whatever, that's what they're calling it. All in though, the kit cost me no more than £1,300, including VAT, delivery, everything. We didn't pay for fitting, as you've seen. The fitting videos are all over the channel, so if you want me to link those below, they'll be in the description if you haven't seen them. My fiance's dad was a BMW technician, had a BMW garage for years and years, so there wasn't much that he didn't know already about the car. So it was just a case of me and him getting to work on a very cold October, November morning and just smashing it all out in one day. So yeah, that saved me quite a bit of money. I'm not sure how much BMW charge for doing this, but it didn't really matter. And to be honest, with the videos that I've got, I know they're not the most instructional videos, but I'd say 90% of people watching this can do this for themselves. It's really, really not that difficult. Another way that I saved a bit of money here was, I say saved, I wanted the M2 kidney grille all blacked out because it has the double lines, whereas the normal 2 Series grille is just a single line. So what I did, I ordered the M2 kidney grille from eBay for like £70. Then I also sold the ones that came with the full kit for like 40 something pounds. So it was like 45 maybe. So, a net loss of £25 for the kidney grille is neither here nor there really. As a lot of you know by now, I've spent a lot of time in the motor trade, so I've built up lots of connections here and there. So that moves me on to the next set of modifications. A school friend of mine had a body repair shop just down the road from where I was working. And he called me one day and said, look, I've got a written off BMW 135i, and basically the car is a complete insurance write-off, so it doesn't matter. And he had the D-Cat exhaust and the BMS performance intake. And I was like, sounds good to me. And then he was like, look, you can have both parts for £100. And I'm like, £100? Well, man, I'd never driven down somewhere so quickly. I was like, yeah, I will take it all. Have you got anything else? The parts that I got for the car are worth probably 4, maybe 5 times more than that. So that was just another bargain. I was like, this car is just a dream come true. What more could I ask for? Fitting the intake was obviously easy. You've probably seen that video, that'll be in the description too. But unfortunately, I didn't quite have the right equipment to fit the D-Cat exhaust and take out the catalytic converter. From what I understand, depending on what year you get the car, depends on how difficult it is, because sometimes you need to move the steering rack out the way. But I know for my year, which was a 2014 model, you don't need to do that, and it's a pretty simple process. The fitting of the D-Cat cost me £40, so again, it's not breaking the bank to get all this done. That was mates rates, but at the same time, it takes less than an hour, and you can do this on your drive or outside your house if you've got the right equipment. Next up was those absolutely awful alloy wheels, as most of you pointed out in the comment section. They were absolutely battered. Yeah, so I got them refurbed and spray black, and that cost me about 200, maybe £250. And I also had the wing mirrors wrapped black to match the rest of the car, because those silver mirrors are awful. Yeah, got rid of those. And then there's the little bit inside the grille, down by the, you know what I'm talking about. That's black as well now. Last thing, and probably the most noticeable thing on the car, was the headlights. So we had those completely smoked in the darkest tint that I could find. And loads of people have asked me about that product, and it's called Laminex. I'm pretty sure you can only get it in America, and you've got to, import it over. Any experienced window tint shop or wrap garage or shop will be able to do this for you. It's a little bit more tricky because it's thicker, because obviously the heat of the headlights has to be taken into account. But all that said, it was £90 all in to get that filmed and fitted. And it took probably no more than an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So all in, I spent no more than £2,000 on all these modifications, which in my opinion completely transformed the look of the car. It looked amazing. It sounded the way I wanted it to sound. It was just everything. It kind of was, my, how do I explain it? My persona, if that makes sense. I liked it to be loud. I liked it to look different than everything else. I don't really like having the same things as everyone else. So yeah, it was really, really cool. I absolutely loved it. And for £2,000, is pretty fair. To the point of the video though, was it worth it? Now, was it worth it? Worth it is a subjective question. Like, what gives you value? No, obviously £2,000 is a lot to spend on a car. That you've already bought the car. It works. So, there's nothing wrong with it. But spending £2,000 on it doesn't matter who you are. £2,000 is a lot of money, obviously. Now you do get those people that will say, oh, I know people that spend hundreds of thousands of pounds, but not many of us can do that. I definitely can't. So that's just part of the money. It's painful all around. With that being said, money aside, the actual enjoyment that I got out of the car and the enjoyment that I got you know, doing these things myself, getting my hands dirty, even when it's cold and horrible weather outside, the enjoyment of actually doing the work yourself is just that, you know, it's very fulfilling. You know, on top of that, once the car's done and you've got the loud exhaust and this, that and the other, you've got the experience that you have with your friends and your family. You know, like you've seen the video of me scaring Anna in the car with the launch control and, you know, doing donuts and stuff. And if you follow my social media as well, you'd definitely see a few donuts on there. You've heard the cracks and the bangs and waking up to the smell of this fuel burning and the cold starts in the morning. It's just, you know, it's amazing, man. And putting your foot down, not being able to get out of third gear because it's so flipping fast. You know, it's just a lot of fun. And yeah, you can't put a price on things like that because you can't do it. You have to, you know, some things you just gotta take it in your stride, and that's definitely one of them. So yeah, that's it really for the cost. You know, the cost £2,000. Cost versus the experience, you know, it's a no-brainer, absolute no-brainer. Now, was it worth it in the sense of the value? What happens to the value of the car? Now, so I've worked in the motor trade for the majority of my adult life, to be honest, and I've seen lots of people coming in, they say, oh, you know what, I've just put £4,000 worth of alloys on the car, I've just put £1,000 worth of brakes and this, that and the other, and you know, in all honesty, the car is worth what it's worth to everyone. Just because you spent £5,000 on it doesn't mean that it's worth £5,000 more, and I think more and more people are getting to grips with that. Now, obviously the cost of the experience, you take that £5,000 and say that you had an experience with it and don't expect to necessarily get that money back. You know, especially for, you know, if you're selling the car to a dealership, not many people are going to take that gamble in giving you the extra money for the brakes that you spent, or even a proportion of the extra money for the new brakes that you spent, or the wrapped mirrors or whatever, to then hope that the gamble pays off maybe 3 months down the line, because it might not pay off. Someone might not want that on their car, and then you've lost the sale. So it's a really tricky one as someone who's been there, done that, and been on both sides of the coin. Like, I get it, but yeah, I wouldn't ever go into it with the mindset of I'm going to get this money back. Now that kind of brings me on to the exception to the rule. The exception to the rule being the BMW M235i, the M240. Most variations of the 4 Series are like this as well, because of the M Performance body kits. Now, if you have a look online on Auto Trader or the approved used BMW website, or even the new stock that they have, if those cars have the M Performance body kit, I can categorically tell you they're selling them as an M Performance edition, which is nothing. It's not a real thing. It's not recognized as like a model. The other thing you'll notice is next to those M Performance editions, the price is definitely increased, because at the end of the day, they've had £2,000, £3,000, £4,000 spent on them extra, especially if you've got the alloy wheels, because they're not cheap at all. In my personal experience with my M235i, with the modifications and stuff, I actually made a profit of £2,000 on the car. So pretty much all those modifications that I spent my money on, I got the money back. Now, that's not to say that it's going to happen for everyone. It is extremely rare to get a profit on a used car. So, you know, the only thing, luckily for me, the only thing that I spent money on was pretty much fuel and tax and insurance. You know, it was a lucky one for me. And I think choosing your time, when to sell, keeping your eye on the market is always you know, a good bit of advice. Just see what's happening. It's happened before. I had an Audi TT back in 2014, and I only had it for 6 months because it was brand new. I had a huge amount of discount. The car was worth like 21,000, and I had like 19,000 left on the finance. So I was like, yeah, sell it. £2,000 back in my pocket. Just flip it, get something else. I wasn't that attached to it. So yeah, you know, you've got to, don't get too emotionally attached. I know it's hard, but if you can be sensible, then you should be able to move in a way where you can minimize your losses for sure, especially if you're in the BMW market. In summary, you know, it's your car, like I just said. It's your car, it's your money, it's your life. And no one should be able to influence you or tell you what to do with any of those things because they're yours, and essentially it only affects you. A car is like an extension of our person. It's our personality, like, but in a physical form for a lot of people. I hope I'm not like rambling on talking rubbish, but that's the way I personally feel. Like, I know someone who always wraps his cars purple, for argument's sake, because it's an extension of his personality. That's what he does. Like, purple's his favorite color. You know, if you want to put 20 degrees of camber on your wheels, then shit, man, like, do it. Like, who cares? Like, it's your money. It's you. Don't worry about it. You know, it's all about the enjoyment that you get out of it. You know, if you make friends and do it, even if you don't make friends, you know, if you're just doing it for you and you just have the car parked up in your garage, just do you. No drama, no stress from my end at all. People have been asking me for months and months and months how much all this stuff costs. Now you know. You can hopefully make more of an educated decision on what you buy in the future. And speaking of educated decisions, the topic of the moment is car finance. Everyone wants to know about car finance. Everyone's financing their cars. If you made it this far, firstly, thank you very much. Drop a comment below with your opinion. But if you want me to shed some light on a completely unbiased opinion and advice on finance packages, and then you can take what you want from that and make your own decision, then let me know. I'm all for it. I'm all for spreading knowledge, each one teach one. I've been there, I've done that. I've worn the t-shirt, I've sold every different type of car finance you can imagine. So I feel like I have a good opinion on what's what and a very good bearing of what a finance package is for what purpose. With that being said, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to, with a bit of luck, with God's be with us, we'll have something very, very, very special as like a thank you for the end of the year. So keep your eyes peeled. Thank you very much, and peace.